Hey guys, how are you? It's Obsessed Turf. Hope you guys are having a good day. Just wanted to go into a pretty exciting time. Well, maybe it's not so exciting, right? We're winding down the season and it is now going into late fall and we'll be approaching winter here in the next month or so. So it's kind of disappointing, right, that the season is coming to an end. But this is an opportune time for you to take advantage of preparing your lawn for the spring. How great would it be for you to be able to get a head start on your lawn with just doing a few extra things in the late fall, early winter to prepare your soil and your lawn for a great 2025. So without further ado, let's get into how we do that. So I know you've been seeing all of the videos, right? The fall nitrogen blitz, the winterizer, all of these things to help prepare your lawn. And that is what this video is about. And I'm here to tell you that a lot of those videos are not giving you enough detail. They're not giving you enough information to do these things at the right time. And that is the main reason why I wanted to post this video, is to just help you guys understand how to best apply this method, right? The timing is very, very important as far as when you do this, because what you're trying to do is apply this when the grass is starting to prepare for winter dormancy. And the grass is very smart, right? It's going to slow down its top growth and focus more of its energy into the root growth. And before you get into winterization, let's take a step back as far as what I was doing in my fall renovation, where I go into using a starter fertilizer, which has a high phosphorus content. One of the things that you want to focus on is strengthening your roots with phosphorus earlier in the season. If you've missed out on that, it's not the end of the world, but think about that for next year. What I did in the fall was applied starter fertilizer twice between a 3-week interval so that I could have that phosphorus not only help with established root growth on the seedlings that I did in my overseed, but you're also applying that phosphorus to the existing grass plant to increase and strengthen the growth of the roots of the grass plant, even the existing ones. So essentially what you're doing is you are creating strong root growth that can then absorb the nitrogen that you're feeding to it as you prepare for your fall nitrogen blitz and your winterizer product that I'm actually going to be applying today. One of the other things that you need to think about is the timing of not only your nitrogen product, but also your winterization product. So let's take a step back first to talk about what I did for my nitrogen blitz. This is essentially loading up your soil and your grass plant with a surplus of nitrogen so that it has additional energy stores to prepare it for what I'm going to refer to as the off season. I'm a fitness fanatic, so I like to understand health and fitness and all of that. And one of the things that you do in the off season is you're loading up on carbs. Think of nitrogen as the carb. Your nitrogen is something that is energy that's being stored in the soil and in the grass plant to prepare it to have enough food and energy to feed off of on the days that it kind of wakes up and that nitrogen becomes mobile in the soil to get to the grass plant before you're full on into the growing season. This allows you to have that energy already in the soil and the grass plant to be available when it becomes available. Let's also talk nutrient flow, right? One of the things that you have to be aware of when it comes to temperatures is anything below 50 degrees, you're not going to really get any sort of nutrient flow through the soil and into the grass plant. So be aware that when you are putting down your products, especially as your winterizer, that you're doing this at a time when the temperatures are right around that 55 to 65 degree range. I happen to check my forecast for the next week and I am right within that range, and this is a perfect time for me to apply my winterizer product before the colder winter temperatures start to kick in, which are going to be that following week, unfortunately. I do love the snow. Give me the snow maybe once or twice and then I'm done with it. I'm ready for green grass again. Can anybody relate? All right, so let's get back into my fall nitrogen blitz where I added nitrogen to my soil. Now there are two options that you can add. You can do ammonium sulfate or you can do urea. I hear mixed reviews on what works better for some people. I personally chose to do urea because of the high sulfur content that I had from my soil test that I did earlier this year, probably because of the Epsom salt application that has the magnesium sulfate already in it. So what I chose to do was urea so that I didn't continue to add sulfur to my lawn. Even though I had really high levels, sulfur does help with green up, so it's not a horrible thing. Just be careful that you're not overdoing any of your nutrients in your soil to keep everything in a happy place when it comes to the levels of nutrients that you are applying to your lawn. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to ammonium sulfate versus urea is the percentage of nitrogen that you have. So ammonium sulfate tends to have about 22% of nitrogen in it. The benefit of ammonium sulfate is that it's already in the nitrogen form that it would be absorbed by the plant. Urea, on the other hand, comes in at 46% nitrogen. However, there are a couple of caveats with that. Number one, it has a high volatility rate. That means that the nitrogen can gas off very quickly. So it's important that when you put that down, that you're watering it in as quickly as possible so that you can maximize the absorption of that urea into the soil before it gases off. The next thing that you have to remember when it comes to urea is that it has to convert into nitrogen. So unlike ammonium sulfate, which is pretty much more of what you would refer to as a fast release, urea has a little bit of a delay behind your ammonium sulfate, given the fact that it has to convert. But keep in mind, guys, urea is still considered a fast release nitrogen. So while it may not flow into the plant as nitrogen as quickly as ammonium sulfate, it will convert fairly quickly, and you're putting less product down for the amount of nitrogen that you are wanting to apply to your soil. Given that the urea is more than 2 times greater than that of ammonium sulfate, you do have an advantage of putting down less product and as a result likely being a little bit more cost effective. So that being said, I went with the urea. I had something interesting happen to me. I spilled my urea. I was out doing my thing and I started my first pass and I was trying to figure out where I started, and I was looking into the lawn to see if I could find some of these really fine urea pellets, and the spreader fell over. Yeah, not good. Needless to say, guys, I got a nitrogen burn from that and I'm working through it. And I'm going to take that as an opportunity to do some other things that I'll record about correcting and fixing that area in the future. But going back to my application. So getting this application down for your nitrogen blitz is super important, because if you do this too early in the season, you're going to have excessive top growth and you're not serving the purpose of the fall nitrogen blitz. So make sure that your temperatures are in the range of 55 to 65 degrees and not exceeding that. And ideally, and these guys, we're talking about air temperatures. Usually your soil temperatures, you don't want to go below 50. Ideally, if you can get closer to 55, I think that's great. But once you're below 50 degrees consistently, it's probably not going to be as beneficial for you. So how do you know your range? Pay attention to your zone. What zone are you in? I am personally in zone 6. So if you're in zone 6, then this is a good time for you. However, if you are in a different zone, look at a zone map and adjust accordingly. And I'll put that up here so that you can have a look at what zone you might actually be in. So now comes to the winterization. I'm actually going to go out. I'm going to blow the lawn. I've got some stragglers on leaves that I need to get cleaned up, and then I'm going to mow, and then I'm going to apply my fertilizer. Right now, my forecast was showing a strong chance of rain tomorrow, but if not, I will go ahead and water that in. But this is the perfect time for me, as I mentioned earlier with my forecast. It looks like I'm going to be right in the perfect range for getting that into the soil and getting that going. Now, why a winterizer, and should you do it? My opinion, yes, I think you should. And the reason why is because nitrogen, first of all, the Scott's Winterizer is a 32-0-10 product. So this is a product that's going to have 32% nitrogen and then 10% potassium. Why potassium, you ask? Well, potassium really helps the lawn with its endurance through the winter dormancy. So this is the reason why potassium is going to be in the winterizer, to help give it just a little bit more strength for the winter dormancy and to kind of hold up to the harshness of the winter temperatures. And I'll tell you guys, this is my first year of the fall nitrogen blitz. I think it went really well. I did apply that when the grass rate of growth was actually starting to slow down. So I think the timing was great on that, and I think that it served its purpose well. But looking at urea, remember that's 46% nitrogen. So now we've got this winterizer that's at 32% nitrogen to really fill it up with nitrogen to prepare it for the spring green up. And fingers crossed we get this going and it turns out to have a great head start for the 2025 growing season. That is my plan for the winterization. However, I am not going to be done. I will continue to mow, and it's important that you continue to mow your lawn throughout the growing season. And that means until it stops growing. Until you can't mow anymore, keep mowing. Your grass is actually going to benefit from not getting too long in the winter, which could increase disease pressure over the winter months, as well as having a difficult head start into the spring if you have too much top growth starting right off in the beginning of the season. And then one of the last things that has yet to be done in the lawn is going to be mulching leaves into the lawn. This is a great opportunity for getting organic material down into the lawn to prepare that for the next growing season. I will probably be making a video of that as well, just showing you my process as far as how I do that. But thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you've got any questions that you want, please drop those in the comments below. Best of luck to you in your winterization as you are wrapping up the growing season. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.